Good morning.
Hey y'all, it's Tasha
And Levi
with Pine Knot Family Farm. Welcome back to the homestead.
on a cool Saturday morning.
Cool Saturday, but that's gonna change in a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
It's supposed to get up to like in the mid 50s and full sun today, so we are gonna chip away at the to-do list a little bit.
Had our morning coffee, so we're ready to
Yeah.
go. Got some hotbeds we're going to finish up today.
Yes.
That
He did start on a hotbed and he didn't tell me, so I didn't get to come out and vlog it, but we'll try to vlog a little bit of him
That's the
finishing
hard
up.
part about vlogging, is trying to video and build at the same time.
The sun is bright, yeah. It is really hard to do that. So I'm gonna go down the greenhouse before it gets too miserably hot in there and get some more peppers started.
I've got to go put hay out for the cows and horses and get all those animals fed and take care of this morning before we start our other projects.
You got Scotty here helping today.
Yeah.
So we will try to take y'all along and hope y'all enjoy. So we got in the greenhouse and it is about 85 degrees in here right now. And it's just like 9:30 in the morning. First thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to get some more peppers planted. I started some the other day. What I'm doing is I've got my shelf. I've got 2 heat mats. I get those on the heat mats, get them started, move them down a shelf. The heat mats work good just to give the seeds the warmth they need to germinate. And once they get pretty much germinated, you can move them off and just put them under grow lights. I have got to get this greenhouse cleaned up. It is still, they just got the shelves put in the other day. So I just got to come out here and get everything organized. I'm going to show y'all my broccoli I started the other day. You'll see those little seedlings starting to come up, and these have strictly been left out in the greenhouse because broccoli is a cooler crop, so it doesn't need a lot of heat to germinate. But we've got quite a bit of broccoli started. For the peppers, Sugar Rush Peach. I tried to plant these last year, but I planted them a little bit too late. I'm excited to give these a try. I wanted to try them last year. Got some jalapenos. That was from mine that I saved. I'm also going to plant a couple of these that I already had. There's just a few left in here. That way, in case for some reason that mine don't germinate, I've got these as well. I have got some chili peppers from last year that I saved. Cayennes, which I done all these last year, and a couple of these giant peppers. I love growing peppers. Horizon bell pepper from Baker's Creek, and got some coral bell sweet peppers. So I'm trying to just plant a couple of each one, but that never works. I said I was going to plant 25 broccoli plants, and I think there's like 90 over there. So I can't ever plant exactly what I said that I was going to do. I've also got some, they call it, I think, jalapeno. It's like a not hot jalapeno, and they were out at Baker's Creek for a while, and I got a notification the other day through email that they had them back in stock. So I got those ordered. They're just not here yet. I'll probably add a couple of more peppers. They're going by on the tractor to put out hay. If you watched our video when we went to Mount Vernon and learned about how George Washington was saving his seeds 300 years ago, and he said that it was crazy to buy them after the initial time. I thought that was so neat. There was so much stuff there that just like that in the compost. So he was really into the seed experimental. To seed save, you just want to make sure that you start with a really good reputable seed. It's heirloom variety, and you should be just fine. Now my watering spigot is up in the gun room where I have my seeds started, so I'll have to fill it up there. The next step though is I'm just going to water from underneath. I've got a little spot here that worked out pretty good. Also, I wanted to show you is on the last video I just had a couple of little sprouts of lettuce. Hopefully we're gonna have some lettuce pretty soon. Now over here where we planted the carrots the other day, there's still no sprouts, but they do take a little while to germinate. I had to stop what I'm doing. I'm gonna come over here and vlog them building the hot box. I started some potatoes, some sweet potato slips inside in the window in the house. A couple of them have got really good root systems, but I'm only getting potato slips off of one of those potatoes. So we are going to try the hot box method. We're kind of running out of time, but we're gonna go ahead and give it a try. I think that that's gonna work a lot better and give me quite a bit more slips, because I'm only getting like 1 slip off a week, because the slips need to be at least 5 inches before you pinch them off. So Levi built the boxes the other day, and I told y'all I didn't know he was doing it, so I didn't get out here to vlog it. But we're going to show you a little bit of finishing it up.
We're gonna make these hotbeds mobile, where we can actually elevate them off the ground a little bit, but when we get ready to move them to a different location, we just come in with a tractor and pick them up and move them. Kind of like the raised beds we've got down in the garden, where we can just pick them up with the tractor and move them where we want to. We have a bunch of used cross ties where we change ties out for industry. So these are just laying around that we've got extras, and they don't rot very easy, and they last a long time. So this is our elevated bed. Structurally, it gives us something to pick up from. These are plywood boxes, so the weight of the dirt would probably sag them down over time. But by using these cross ties, it lets them have something structurally to sit on. And we tuck the cross ties up under these boxes so that the rainwater, if there is any, will run off and not get up under boxes and rot them. Our box attached to our structure. We got to make a top for our hotbeds here. So what we did is mitered the corners out on all these 2x4s so that we can actually, for the lid, to make it, give it more structural stability, that makes this lay together. You can see this mitered joint, and we'll glue these together and screw them together, and then that'll make a very rigid joint so that when you open and close this, it doesn't flex and get out of warped position. So to start with, I'm just going to put 1 screw in each corner just to leave it tight. And then the main thing we want to do is check the square, make sure all we're putting together is square for the top. Okay. Just a little bit out. Check it again. All right. So measuring from corner to corner will get you a square as long as you're the same distance from the very point of each corner crossways. You should be square. And then we'll finish putting it together. Together like that, it makes a real rigid frame. Don't have any flex to it. Perfect fit. Mitering these corners and stuff, you can grab this on any corner. You can see it don't warp and flex. That's why we mitered the corners. It makes it so really rigid down through the deal. So naturally, if you're grabbing it in the middle most of the time, it should never give us any problem. All right, so we're gonna put our polycarbonate sheeting on and see how that works. So on our taller side, our polycarbonate's got these ridges in it. So instead of letting the heat escape out from under the taller side, we're gonna put this little 1x on here and butt the polycarbonate up against it so that it creates a seal right here. The heat rises and wants to come out the top anyway. So it'll still let some heat out the bottom. We may actually use insulation or something down there if we really want to seal it up tight. But this will basically just give us a edge up here for it to seal to.
And let the rainwater still run off.
Yeah. Can't do it at the bottom because the rainwater wouldn't run off then.
Yeah.
Got some old screws that we pulled out of the building one time that we're using to actually put this on with, but they got a big flat head, so they'll work real well. And main thing is, because we're trying to seal this off, we want to keep this tight and square up here at the top. So to make sure these pieces are all square, measure down the same on both sides, and then basically took a straight edge, which I used 2x4, and just marked my line so I know where to cut. And you can see we left about 1.5 inch overhang, again, over end of our 2x4s. That way it keeps the water from running right up against. When it runs off, it won't be running off against the end of our. It's polycarbonate sheeting. You can cut it with about anything. These are just a pair of 10 snips. So basically we just overlap one lap right here, and we'll screw this down and move down to the next one. You can see how we kept a good tight seal up against our little block up there. Repeat process. When we raise this up, we want something so it just won't flop back and rip the door off. So we're gonna put these little eye hooks in here, little wood screw eye hooks, and put a chain on it to catch it whenever it gets to a certain point. All right, so we were down at the greenhouse looking for some other supplies, and we found these chains that Tasha had bought at the Dollar Tree for $1. So we're gonna.
I knew they'd be used for something. You can see that this hot box, I mean, this is stuff, we didn't go out and buy anything specifically to make this. It's stuff that we kind of already had around here. Most of the stuff was reused or reclaimed, but I mean, these were $1.
Again, you've seen it on the tractor. We've got a good solid structure to pick it up and move it on. So we brought it out here. This is the garden area that's greenhouse. South side of the garden, we got the sun coming in here. Should really work well. Got plenty of water that we can irrigate whatever we need to do. We know we're going to lose a little bit of heat, on a really cold day by being up off the ground, and but it shouldn't be that big an issue, for what we're going to use them for. So we're going to fill it up with dirt. So after we looked at it, I decided before we started filling it, we're going to put one divider in the center just to make it more rigid between the centers here, because these are just plywood and I don't want them flexing out or blowing apart whenever we put the dirt in them. So we're going to put one center divider to tie these two outside edges together to keep them from wanting to blow apart.